Good morning, everyone. So, you can't see my face, which I honestly thought, oh, well, shit, it just changed to live. Good morning, everyone. I'm coming live because I got this question yesterday, and with rates going up, because they're going up. I want you guys to know the difference between the rates that you see online at something like this. This is bankrate.com. It's actually pretty reliable, to be honest. But I want to explain some things to you on here and show you what an actual rate sheet looks like. I tried to do that before, but it was on my cell phone and I was in my car and you couldn't really see it. So the when you go online and you're like, oh my God, what is today's rate? This is what you are going to get. They're going to tell you it's a 5.15%, a 5.77%. Let me go ahead and change that to my zip code and see what it says. So they're telling me that, and let's just say, 500,000 maybe. And they're automatically going to assume that you're putting down 20%. Okay. It's going to assume that you are a conventional loan. It is going to assume that you are putting down 20%, and it is going to automatically assume that you have a fantastic, phenomenal, wonderful credit score. Let me explain something to you guys. The biggest deal that is going to affect your interest rate is your own personal FICO score, okay? These rates, this 5.625 for a 30-year fixed, you're going to look at that and be like, oh my God, that's a great rate right now in this market. And it truly, truly is. That's not a lie. That is a fantastic rate. However, when you look over and you see this right here, these are points. These are points. These are the cost of what that rate would be. So when you guys are looking at national averages, if they are not telling you the cost of that rate with that lender, then it is incorrect. The other piece is that you want to try to change as many things as you can, because if you're down here, this whole thing is going to change. It's going to tell you, oh, we don't know, just kidding, get with the lender. Because your score is not what they are looking at, right? They want this. They want, beautiful credit. If you're at a 700 to 719, they may give you some options too. But if you are down in like the 620s, the 630s, 580s, I mean, look at this. They're only giving you an ARM option. And that's not true. You can still have a 30-year fixed option. However, they're not showing you that rate. What they're showing you is the average rate and what you can get with some of these lenders, right? But as you're looking at this, make sure you're looking at everything involved. And remember that these are just quotes. They're not, these right here, sorry, I thought it was going to show on my actual thing because it's screen sharing, but I guess not. So these right here are just quotes. They are not what your rate is going to be when you go to your lender, because we have to look at your personal FICO score. And you're also going to want to make sure that you look at what the points cost is, because that's an additional almost $10,000 that you're going to have to pay to get a 7.2% interest rate on a 5/6 ARM. Number one, ARMs are scary as hell, and I don't think they're the best in the business, to be completely honest with you. But there's that piece. The other piece is that when you're looking at these may be broker options, these may be, credit union options, these may be whatever options there are out there. But these are not based on what you're putting down, right? Because you may not be putting 20% down. A lot of people today do not put down 20%, even on a conventional loan. So you're going to want to make these changes and see exactly what it is that you are putting down so you can get the best option out there. But also, you should really, really talk to a lender. The lender is going to be able to tell you exactly what it is, because let me show you guys what a real rate sheet looks like. These are rate sheets for every program that I have in my lovely arsenal, right? So If I go to a conventional loan, and I know you probably are like, holy crap, that's a lot. It is a lot because our lender, my lender, has a lot of programs. So we have two main investors, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, for conventional financing. Fannie Mae, when I touch this, it's going to tell me what the rates are. Okay. Every single rate, these are your rates: 7.875, 7.750, 7.625. Top of my rate sheet is 7.875. And it's going to tell me these are prices. So these are either credits. If they're in a parentheses, that's a credit, or it's going to be a cost. Anything without a parentheses is a cost. But not only that, there are add-ins, right? So even if I choose a 7.875 on a 30-day lock, it's going to start out with a credit of 0.750%. But are we doing a buy-down loan? Or is your total loan to value over 95%? So are you doing a down payment assistance program? Because that can affect it. Is your loan, between $55,000 and $100,000? That can affect it. Is it a manufactured home? That can affect it. But not only that, you guys, we have things for credit as well. Credit and LTV. So if your credit is between a 620 and a 639, and your loan to value, meaning how much you're putting down versus how much the actual loan amount is, if you're putting down 20%, you're still getting a 3.25% hit. So, looking at the national average while looking at the national average while super helpful, it's honestly not, because it doesn't take into consideration your own personal finances, your own personal debt to income ratio, your own personal, what you're putting down, all that good stuff. That is why it is super important to talk to a lender before you start looking at homes or even contacting a realtor, in all honesty. Because you may think, oh, I make $100,000 a year, I can totally afford a $500,000 house. And that is absolutely true back when it was, 2 and 3% interest rates. Today, it may be something completely different. So I highly, highly recommend that if you do this, look for rates on here, do these types of things like that, that you're putting in the information that you truly think is there. And I know Credit Karma is not the best, but at least it gives you some sort of idea where your own personal FICO score is. But the best bet is always reaching out to a loan officer to find out, number one, what your credit score is, because everybody looks at something different. Cars look at something different. Credit cards look at something different. Apartments look at something different. But we in mortgage look at a full tri-merge credit report. So if you're super worried about pulling your credit, you're going to want to make sure that they have the ability to do a soft pull. I personally have done some soft pulls, and they're honestly the best thing since sliced bread, because it's the same thing as an actual credit report, but I can see everything and it doesn't hit your credit. So there's no worry about that. So if you guys have questions, if you're like, now it makes more sense as to why the national average is just that, the national average, you're going to want to make sure that you speak with someone. I know I've said that like 1,500 times. So if you take away anything from this live, please take away the fact that you do have to speak with somebody who has the capability to pull your credit, look at what you're putting down, and then give you an interest rate choice. Okay? And if they're not explaining to you what points are and all of that stuff, let me know, because I can definitely help you with that, even if you're not using me, right? I just want you to be educated when you actually make your decision on who you're going to work with. Either way, I hope this was super helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions or need anything. And as always, let me know if you want to apply for a loan. Have a great week.